So guys, this 2024 NBA draft, in my personal opinion, has to be the weirdest, most off, most confusing draft within the last 10 or 20 years. Now, if you were to ask a lot of NBA scouts or NBA GMs, you're most likely going to get the definitive answer in the response about this class, that this class compared to others is fairly weak. And there's really not many NBA teams that are just praying or excited to essentially get this #1 pick. But at the same time, like I said, the main reason why I think this draft class is fairly weak is mainly due to the fact that, yes, I kind of agree that this class is fairly weak as far as the top of the line of this draft. But at the same time, if you really take a look and you do dissect this draft as a whole, believe me when I say that this draft class is pretty deep at the same time. Now, the reason why I do say this is because, like I said, I wouldn't say that this draft class is essentially top heavy. They don't really have a superstar type athlete that's going to be a generational type of talent. They don't have any Victor Wembanyama's, Zion Williamson's, even an Anthony Edwards type of talent. Now, that's not me saying that any of these players can't turn into that. I'm just saying as far as projectability, we really don't see that in this draft. But like I said, I do think this draft is fairly deep in a sense of you kind of really don't know who's going to go where. You don't know who's going to go within the top 10. You don't know who are the definitive top players in this class. But like I said, at the same time, I do think that this draft does possess a great selection of players to choose from that can have long NBA careers, and they could be pretty good role players, and some of these guys could essentially become all-stars in the NBA. But guys, as you know, it is early. It's only November and the season pretty much just started, but I do think it is a good idea for you guys to get a little bit more familiar with the top players in this class. So in this video, as you can see from the title, we're going to be taking a look at the top players in this class, making a quick 2024 NBA mock draft, looking at the top 10 players in this draft. So make sure you guys comment down below some players that I missed. Who are some players that you guys are pretty high on? Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 30K. Like the video, it helps out the channel. I appreciate the support on the latest videos, and it's going to get straight into this video. So guys, boom, it's going to get straight into this video, and starting off with the number 10 projected pick. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm warning you, bro, this one may be a hot take, and I know some people may have questions, but I have to go with freshman guard from Kentucky, Mr. Robert Dillingham. Now, like I said, this one is probably going to be a hot take, but considering just what he's shown from us so far in the early season, just coming off the bench for Kentucky, especially with the limited amount of minutes that he's been playing from Coach Calipari, I really could see an NBA team taking a chance on him at that number 10 spot. You guys already know, typically Kentucky, they do produce pretty great guards, especially within the last 10 years or so, and I really do think that Rob could be that next player in line. He's easily one of the most electric scorers at the collegiate level, averaging close to 17 minutes a game. And the way that he's doing it, there's really not much more that you can ask from a point guard of his stature. And he really didn't even have a problem transitioning over from high school to college, especially on that physical side of the ball. And I think that was a huge question that I know a lot of scouts and a lot of people had about Robert Dillingham was, how is he going to adjust? And you can even make the argument that he's actually made the smoothest transition out of the top freshmen that Kentucky has. So like I said, I really don't see him struggling to transition even to that NBA level. I also believe that he's also shown the ability to run and orchestrate as the lead point guard for Kentucky. He's honestly one of the fastest and quickest players that I've ever seen in my entire life, bro, with the ball. And he's a guy that, like I said, can orchestrate your offense, and he really is a pass-first point guard. I don't know why people think that he's a ball hog or he shoots too much, etc. This man, Robert Dillingham, is really a pass-first point guard that can score over 20 points on any given night. I do think there's a lot of NBA teams that can use a guy like a Robert Dillingham that can bring a different type of excitement to the game, bring in a different type of energy level coming off the bench. So, like I said, I'm huge on Robert Dillingham, but where would you guys place Robert Dillingham heading into this draft? Now, at the number 9 spot, I have to go with my boy Jacoby Walters from Baylor University. If you guys don't know, this man Jacoby Walters recently broke the record for the most points scored in their debut and as a freshman at Baylor University. And if you're actually watching this game, he pretty much did it in an impressive fashion as well. What he did, scoring 28 points versus one of the top programs in the country, it really woke up a lot of NBA scouts, and it really brought a different type of spotlight to this game. He really went from being a projected first round, second round pick to, I've even seen him go as high as the number 5 projected pick in this draft. And like I said, I'm personally not surprised. He's actually from my area within the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I've been on this man, Jacoby Walters, and like I said, I'm happy that he's able to showcase this in front of everybody in this specific moment in time. Averaging close to 20 and 5 on 46% shooting from the field, and the way that he can actually shoot the ball from 3 while being 6'5 to 6'6, there's really not much that you don't like about a guy of this stature. He's one of the more polished athletes for his age on both sides of the ball, and his footwork, that's something that I've been seeing a lot of scouts actually talk about. It's really on another level. And he also helped his high school program, Link Academy, win a national title last season. He also was the leading scorer for that team. So like I said, he's also another player that really hasn't struggled to adjust going from high school to college. And like I said, it is fairly early, but trust me when I say that this is essentially the beginning of a great start for his career. At number 8, I have to go with Kyle Filipowski from Duke University. Guys, easily one of the most dominant and polished athletes at the collegiate level. I'm actually still surprised that he stayed another year at Duke. Right now, he is averaging about 20 and 8 so far for Duke this season, and you can really tell that he did improve in a lot of the areas. A big question that I know a lot of NBA scouts had about his game was, how is he going to be able to guard more skilled bigs? Is he going to improve and just get a little bit more athletic to play in the NBA? Those were some huge questions, and I really do think that he's doing a good job of showcasing both in both areas. I mean, anytime you have a guy that's close to 7 feet, can score inside and out, just a good job at also rebounding the ball, plays with high energy, I feel like you have to take a chance on that guy. And I've even been trying to tell people in the past that Kyle Filipowski is one of the better playmakers for his position on the collegiate level and in this draft. And I'm telling you guys right now, he is a willing passer that can find the open man, especially in double teams, triple teams. You know how like teams like to guard those type of bigs. So the fact that he's able to make that pass, I do think that's something that NBA scouts and teams are going to like. And like I said, it is only a small sample size so far for this season, but like I said, the fact that he's improving in those areas, I do think number 8 or close to 10 is a pretty good spot for Kyle Filipowski. Now at the number 7 spot, guys, I have to go with the freshman guard from UConn, Mr. Stephon Castle. Like I've been saying in the past, bro, 6'6", that's that physical, can score the ball, is a willing defender, can lead your unit from the point guard perspective. The NBA, you guys know, bro, they're moving towards these types of players that are this size that can essentially do everything well on the floor. And unfortunately, he did suffer an injury recently that did sideline him, or is going to sideline him for quite some time. And he is going to be missing some important games for UConn this season. But just based on what we've been seeing so far on the high school level, just what we've been seeing at combines, the small sample size that we've seen him earlier on for UConn this season, I do think the upside is very, very high. And I think that he is going to be a vital piece for UConn this upcoming season. So hopefully, let's pray that he does get back healthy so that he can play that significant role for UConn. I really want to see how well Steven Castle can actually play off the ball. If you actually watched him in high school and just so far, he's a guy that has essentially always been the dominant ball handler for a team. So I just want to see, can he shoot it from the outside on a consistent manner? How is he going to look playing off the ball? But like I said, I do think the upside is high on Steven Castle. So I think right now number 7 is a good spot for him. Now at the number 6 spot, guys, I have to go with the player that is a little bit right now a little bit more under the radar. However, I wouldn't be surprised if he does go somewhere within the top 10. Guys, I have to go with my boy Garway Duwal, hopefully I'm saying his name right, from Providence. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys just don't know his name right now, but please get used to his name, bro, because this kid is one of the most underrated players on the collegiate level and just in this draft as a whole. Now, he didn't really have the spotlight or a huge name coming out of the high school, but if you watch him play just one time, you will see why a lot of people are kind of high on this kid. I mean, 6'6", with 6'11" wingspan, an 8'8" standing reach. Just based on the eye test, like I said, this kid is special. Very cool, very calm, collective, can make reads that makes you just want to put your prescription glasses on and have to rewind the tape, bro. I'm telling you, man, this kid is going to be good. Even if he's not good from the offense side of the ball, the fact that he's built the way he is, I do think he has a huge upside on the defense side of the ball. And I do think he could be like an Asar Thompson type of player in the NBA. But like I said, super small sample size right now. But as the season goes along, I do see a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon. So if you're watching this video, bro, please put this kid in your notes. Now, at the number 5 spot, guys, I have to go with my boy Aaron Bradshaw from Kentucky, over 7-foot center. Right now, we haven't actually had a chance to see him play for Kentucky, but this is a guy that a lot of NBA scouts, and I've seen on a lot of mock drafts of him actually being the #1 player earlier on into the season. But like I said, we haven't had a chance to actually see him play. But the reason why a lot of people are pretty high on this kid is mainly because of his rim protection and just the way that he can actually defend the rim and just make it hard for guards to actually score anywhere near the rim. I look at him kind of similar like a Chet Holmgren. He can shoot the ball from 3, has a great mid-range game. Just hopefully his foot can get back healthy. That is one thing that I know is holding him back. He's a player that I know once he starts to suit up for Kentucky, he's going to make a huge significant impact for them on both sides of the ball. So like I said, huge upside. Obviously, he's a 7-foot center. You kind of have to take your chance on him. So what do you guys think of Aaron so far? Now, at the 4th spot, guys, I have to go my boy Mattis Buzelis. I think depending on who actually has this pick, I can see him going somewhere within the top 5. The potential that this kid has is insane. Long, lengthy, 6'10", can handle the rock, is an underrated playmaker as well. He's also a player that I've described in the past that is a little bit sneaky athletic. Right now, he is playing in the G League with Ron Holland, and the fact that he's playing in the G League, you're not really going to hear a lot about his game, but he's only been playing in a few games so far this season. Looked fairly solid. I think he's a guy that is going to get drafted high just based on his potential. So don't be surprised if he goes within the top 3. Now, at the number 3 spot, guys, I have to go my boy Ron Holland. Guys, this kid right here, bro, super high energy guy. I don't know if you guys had a chance, but this man literally just jumped over a defender the other day. Hopefully I can find the video. I'll pop it up on the screen right next to me. But right now he isn't averaging the best amount of points on the amount of efficiency, but I do think that is something that is going to improve. I think at worst he's going to be a significant game changer at the NBA level, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And he's also a player that can give you 15 to 18 points on any given night, just based on the fact that he plays hard, his build and his stature. He's always been a winner, especially on the high school level. I believe he's actually won like 3 state titles for Duncanville, one of the top programs in the country. So I know a lot of NBA scouts have him as the #1 player. Like I said, 6'10", 6'11", can move the way he moves. You're not really going to see a lot of guys at his size that can move the way he does and is actually as fast as he is. So I think Ron Holland could potentially be a top 3 pick. But what do you guys think about Ron Holland? Now, at the number 2 spot, guys, I have to go my boy Isaiah Kohler from USC. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Isaiah Kohler. I've been high on this kid. Believe it or not, I think he could be a John Morant type of player. Honestly, even a little bit better. John Morant is a great overall point guard, but I think Isaiah Kohler, he may be a little bit faster. And I also think that I think he probably shoots it just the same as John Morant, but his point guard ability as a whole, his pace of play, the way he's able to read the defense and crack the code. I think Isaiah Kohler potentially could be a #1 pick. You're not really going to see a lot of guys that are his size that go #1, but I think he's a player that if you don't draft him within the top 3 at least, you're going to regret it, because there's no way I see a guy like this failing in the NBA. I know there's already a lot of great point guards in the league, and it's probably going to be hard. It gets harder and harder for point guards to find their footing, but I do think Isaiah Kohler is a guy that can lead your unit. We've already been seeing what he's been doing for USC. Once Bronny James get back, I think the spotlight is going to be even bigger on this team, so you'll see his name kind of rise as the season goes along. But I'm huge on Isaiah Kohler, super underrated at attacking the rim. He's strong. He's built like a football player, moves like a football player, super fast, super strong. Is getting better from shooting it from the mid-range and also outside. So let me know what you guys think of Isaiah Kohler. But like I said, if I'm the GM, bro, I'm taking him #1. Now, at the #1 spot, guys, this is a guy that I know a lot of NBA scouts and a player that I've been seeing consistently as a top 1 to 2 pick in this draft. And this kid goes by the name of Alex Sarr. Now, I know a lot of people haven't heard of Alex Sarr just because he is playing in the NBL and he plays overseas, but he is a guy, as the draft comes along, you're going to see his name start to rise. And I think the fact that a lot of these overseas players that are just built the way he is, being 7 foot, can essentially handle the rock to some degree, has great body control. Alex Sarr has huge upside at the worst. I've seen people compare him to those DeAndre Ayton type of players, Nicholas Claxton type of players. So a lot of these guys, you'll notice that I'm saying that at worst they can be great defenders in the league, and I think Alex Sarr is another guy that can do that. This is the reason why a lot of people are saying that this draft doesn't have that transcendent #1 pick. He's a guy that I've even seen go, even as low as number 10. So like I said, a lot of people have him going different spaces, but he's the guy that I've seen consistently be that #1 player, at least in this specific moment in time as I'm recording this video. And like I said, you won't be surprised if he goes #1 in this draft. But guys, that is my top 10, at least right now. Like I said, it is fairly early on into the season, but there is a lot of players that I do think could make long-lasting careers in the NBA. Like I said, I'm super high on Isaiah Kohler. Please put your notes on Garway Duval as well. Don't be surprised if Robert Dillingham ends up being a lottery pick in this draft. There's a lot of great players in this draft. You just got to really take a look and dissect the players. But if you guys want a part 2 of this video, if you want me to take a look at some other players, maybe do the top 30, even second round, let me know down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.